What's up, guys? It's Jonathan. I just wanted to talk about something that I feel like we all struggle with right now in this point of our lives. And that's just being happy where we are right now. That's just being satisfied with who we are, grounded in the person that we are, not needing to be somewhere else in order to be happy, not needing a certain skill or anything to be happy or to feel satisfied. And I've realized that for me, I'm not happy when I'm this way. I'm not happy when I'm constantly stressing about this is not right. This is not working out the way it needs to go. My performance is not right in this area. That's all we ever do is judge ourselves in our appearance or our performance. That's all we ever do is judge ourselves and how we look, how we're portraying ourselves to people, how we're coming across. That's all we ever do is judge ourselves on our performance. And I realize for a lot of us, it's hard to love ourselves where we are right now. It's hard to fathom that we can be grateful for what we have, but still want to achieve more, but still want to push forward. And it is possible. It's very possible. But it's hard to comprehend. It's especially hard when you're in that mood, especially hard when you're in that moment where you're just flooded with stress and concerns and stress, all that stuff. But I've realized, and God has really been working on me, to realize that I'm never going to be happy if I'm constantly looking ahead. I'm never going to be happy if I don't love myself the way I look right now, the way my weight is, as much as I go to the gym and I want to be a certain size. If I don't love myself for what I have and who I am right now, I'm just constantly going to want more. I'm just constantly going to want to change. I'm just going to constantly want to improve. And it's just going to drive me crazy. So just recently, I've really been focusing on what's my foundation. I'm actually going to put out a podcast episode on that, about what's my foundation. And I've realized that when I know my foundation, I feel better. When I know my foundation, I realize I have perspective. And whenever I lose perspective, whenever I'm not in the right place, whenever I'm tense, whenever I'm stressed, I realize that I forgot who I am. I forgot what matters. I forgot what's really important. I forgot to be grateful. So during those times where I realized that, I also realized, well, this one particular thing is bothering me. This one particular thing is plaguing me. Like, yeah, I understand my foundation. I understand who I am. I understand I'm in God's love, in His presence. I understand that helping people is most important, my family, all these other things. But how can I figure out this other thing in my life that's bothering me? How can I get through that? And we all have those times, we all have those days. It could be something so small and minute. It could be something like my hair is out of place and I'm stressing about that and I have to be at this important meeting. Or I'm so concerned about how people see me. It could be that, man, I spilled ketchup on my shirt and why did this have to happen? How am I going to figure this out? We get stressed about little things like that. It bothers us. And I've realized that when you keep your foundation in mind, I know my foundation I know is in Christ. I know my foundation is in that cross. I know my foundation is in His love and how special and how worth it I am to Him. But I also know that I forget my foundation. I also know that it's hard for me to remind myself of that. So I realize that it's hard for me because I want solutions. I want answers. I want this understanding. I want to know everything. For example, let's say I make a video and it doesn't come out the way I want to. I start stressing myself out about that. Like, oh, this should have went this way, it should have went that way. And then I'm like, well, the next time I'll get it better, I'll get it right. But then I'm like, man, but I should have got it right this time because I don't want to wait till next time. And that's like trying to catch my identity and my worth in that next time. Well, my identity should be in now. My identity should be in trying. My identity should be in just enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, just knowing that I don't need to be perfect. If I try to get everything right, if I try to be perfect, I'm never going to be happy. I'm going to be miserable because there's always going to be something that's going to go wrong. There's always going to be something that's not going to turn out the way it needs to. Always. So that was something I've just been thinking about a lot. It's like, if I always get things the way I want it to be, that's perfection, and perfection doesn't exist. And also, if I always get things the way I want it to be the first time or the second time or whatever the case may be, I'm not going to enjoy the process of growing. I'm not going to know what it means to come from this place to go all the way here or all the way here and really appreciate that journey. That's something I've really been thinking about and honing in on. Speaking of next time, I'm thinking to myself, I might not use this chair that I've been using because it's been squeaking. But no, seriously, I think it's important that we really start realizing who we are. That we really start realizing that where we are going to end up going, It's great, it's awesome, but we need to enjoy where we are right now in order to enjoy that later. We need to accept that certain things are not going to be the way that we need them to be. Certain things are not going to be the way that we want them to be. But it's just important to just love yourself in this moment. It's just important to know that, man, you've come a long way. When was the last time you really appreciated how far you've come? When was the last time you really reflected on that, journaled on that, prayed about it? I know for me, I got to ask myself these questions all the time. But we have to stop getting to a place where we say, I'll love myself once I get here. I'll love myself when I get this right. I'll love myself when I get this certain grade on the next test. When I get this video this certain way. When I have this amount of money, this amount of clothes. Whatever the case may be. I want us to get to a place where we love ourselves where we are right now. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. I still have those times where it's difficult, where something, like I said, small is really bothering me. But that's when I have to remind myself of my foundation. And that's when I have to realize that I've lost perspective. Does, for example, me being a certain size at the gym, is that what really matters? Or is it in helping people? Does that really matter? Or is it in knowing that I have a solid foundation, that my worth is not in anything I do, but my worth is in God and His love and His presence and what He says about me and what His word says? Or does that really matter, or does my family not matter? Does just the fact that I'm alive, that I'm breathing, that I wasn't born without legs, that I wasn't born with a horrible internal system, or however you want to say it, where I have a constant disease that keeps me in bed? I think a lot of times that's where we have to get back to our foundation. When we feel like we've lost perspective, when we feel like we're not where we need to be, we got to get back to that foundation. We have to remind ourselves who we are. And we really got to appreciate it. We really got to get back to that foundation. And when we've lost perspective, when we stop being grateful, it's so important that we remind ourselves that, yeah, this one thing is bothering me. This one thing is plaguing me. This one thing is getting on my nerves that I cannot get out of my head. It is bothering me. We have to get to that place where we say, it's bothering me, but I need to take a step back. It's bothering me because if I keep trying to figure it out, if I keep trying to find a solution, I'm going to be stressed out. And I'm not going to be efficient. That's another thing God has been speaking on me, on my behalf, as far as you got to be efficient. So if you got to take a step back, take a step back. Because if you keep trying to figure that problem out, if you keep trying to find a solution, you're going to drive yourself crazy and you're not being efficient. You're just digging a hole and you're getting nowhere. And I realize that we got to get to that place where we take a step back. We got to get up to that place where we remind ourselves of our foundation. We remind ourselves of who we are. We remind ourselves of how far we've come. We remind ourselves of the impact that we have, how the people appreciate us, how we don't need a certain amount of followers or subscribers or this certain amount of impact in order to feel good about ourselves. We are what we are. We need to appreciate what we are. And we need to just stay blessed in who we are and to know that God's got a plan for our lives. He's got a purpose. And where we end up is going to be beautiful, but we got to enjoy it right now. We got to appreciate where we are right now. And we just got to let it come. Give up that control. Give up that need to be at that certain place. Give up that need to have all the solutions and all the answers. Give up that need to be so tense and so stressed about something so small or something so large or whatever the case may be. And understand that it'll come to you. Clarity will come to you. Vision will come to you. Like it always has, like it always will. So just keep that in mind and keep that perspective. And understand when you've lost perspective, get back to that place. And remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of how far you've come. Remind yourself of the people that love you. Remind yourself of the impact you've already have had. And remind yourself that all these other things don't really matter. All these other things will drop by the wayside if we really have perspective. And a lot of the things that we worry about will work itself out. God has a plan for your life. God has a plan for you right now. And God has a purpose for you. Keep that in mind, guys. If you guys haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. Take care, guys. And God bless.